Hello everyone, Vickieverlie here. Today we're going to do a reading for love reading for all, for love, partnership, romance. You have to let me know if you guys enjoy this kind of a reading. We might make it a regular monthly thing as well. Got a lot of good feedback on the money and finance. But what we're going to do is go sign by sign, and we're going to apply the spread to love and romance. And we're going to start with the sign of Aries. We're going to go 3 cards per sign. And what is going on for love, romance, partnerships for the sign of Aries? Sun, moon, rising, or in this case I might say Venus. I get really a little triggered when people say Venus because I don't think it really has to do with anything in general. But yeah, maybe for love it would have to do with Venus. You might want to check that. If you feel that, if that resonates with you, then do it. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, so here we go. Interesting that the Ace of Cups was the very first card out. So that for many of you, there could be some kind of new love on the horizon. You know, Neptune moving into your sign is the card, the planet of love and romance, dreamy, these types of things. This may be coming soon, within the next month, or it may have started within the last month. For many of you, I'm doing this reading around the end, well, the beginning of Leo. This could have been maybe during the time of Cancer. Even if it wasn't the love match itself or the actual relationship, it may be the spark or the idea of love. If many of you haven't been with somebody for a long time or whatever the case, or not really, just, I think a lot of you have just been really working hard over here. This is what it's showing me. And maybe it could also be, for some people, it'd be like, I'm picking up like, it's like, man, that last relationship just about broke my back. I don't know if I can, you know, you're still recovering, or you feel like you're still recovering from the last relationship. Well, there's something new right around the bend, my guides are saying. Also, this could totally be like, if you're already in a marriage or a partnership, this could be just like, well, this is a new chapter for us. That's what I'm hearing. A new chapter, a new way of being. Because you make new starts within your existing relationships all the time. You know, that happens all the time. And so there's a new beginning for sure regarding love. And then the Three of Rods, your ships are coming in. You can see how this new beginning is going to be different. That's the thing that I'm getting. Like, so some of you maybe too, you've been on the same road over and over. You wear, you know, the different person, but in the same pair of pants or whatever it goes. You know, the same, you keep attracting the same type, and you're not really getting what you're supposed to be learning. This is opening up a new chapter where the skies are parting and the skies are clear, and you know, you can see the path to success, or the road to success. You can see how this is really going to work out this time, because it's different, because it's new. It's not because it is, you're going to just do the same old thing. Find somebody else and do the same old thing, and then you have the same result. Or stay in the same relationship, oh yeah, we're going to make a new start, and then you just fall back into your old patterns, 10, that's the end. It's the end of the road for the old patterns. And this is so true because of the astrology in your chart too, with the Neptune moving into your chart, the dreamy romanticism, but also Saturn coming into your chart. Many of you, Saturn could be bringing in a very long-term relationship that's going to be long-lasting, long-term, and sometimes karmic, but also with a strong backbone and having a lot of duration, for a long duration, okay? All right, Aries, well, thanks for tuning in. If you need to get a hold of me, please remember that I'm vickieverlie at vickieverlie.com. Don't be fooled by imposters on social media. And next, we're going to move on to the sign of Taurus. Well, hello, Taurus. You know, you've got out of that Uranus funk that you've been in. So a lot of things could have really been changing over the past several years, including, you know, your relationships energy too. But, you know, things are settling down in many Taurus's life, and I know that makes many Tauruses really happy. Okay, let's go ahead and get three readings. Now, 3 cards. 8 of Rods, the arrows of love are hitting their mark. 8 of Cups, 2 8s, and then Page of Swords. So some of you may be looking at a relationship with an air sign person. The air sign person would be the Aquarius, the Gemini, or the Libra. This could also be talking about air sign time frames, which we're not in any of those. The next upcoming air sign time frame is going to be Libra, but we are going to have, did we not just have a full moon in Aquarius? Or what? We will be having a full moon in Aquarius here. Actually, August 9th, we will be having a full moon in Aquarius, and this 8th remind me of August also. So August 9th, there's going to be a full moon in Aquarius, and this moon is depicted on this card as well. So this is, these are how I use the cards too, as I read them intuitively. I look for things. I was thinking about teaching an intuitive tarot class. If you guys think that that would be something you'd be interested in, let me know. Like how I read the cards, where I look at things and they change, rather than just memorizing things from a book or something, watching another reader on YouTube and copying what they say. You know, how to get to your own, you know, let the cards intuitively talk to you. But anyways, news and communication, there may be messaging, there may be texting. For some, because this is a journey card, well, first of all, you could meet this person while traveling. Many people go on vacations during the month of August, so you may encounter somebody while you're traveling, or they may be traveling and you just happen to be in your town or something. You know, your path's two ships in the night. They're saying, well, two ships in the night means you don't see each other again, like kind of like a one-night stand, or one of those follow-ups on, what do they have, not on Facebook, Craigslist, missed connections or something. But the rods are coming in, and she's holding that rod too. And some of you are just ready to move on to greener pastures. You don't know where you're going. Some of you may be ending a very long-term relationship. You may be. And you're ready to just move on to the next thing. The moon is also illuminated. So the full moon in Aquarius could be very powerful and very insightful. Some of you, maybe you've been corresponding, you met online somehow, and if that's the case, maybe this is one or the other of you traveling to meet up with the other person, like meeting face to face or meeting in person for the first time. I'm hearing that foreign. It feels like the first time, like it's never been before. Feels like the first time. Well, Feels Like the First Time by Foreigner. I'm hearing that song. Eight of Wands is things, are going to start to pick up and move quickly. Eight of Wands is the arrows of love hitting their mark. For some of you, maybe this person is a younger person, but it also could be maybe they make you feel young again. It could be like that. Another way that this could be, if this is referring to a younger person or even a child, maybe the two of you have kids are in the same sport or something, and you're traveling to go to their sports game or their, track meet or their science fair, or one of those kind of things, where their kids are the reason that you're on your way to this thing, and then you meet this person through your children. And even if it's not your child, it might even be like, whoever, a niece, nephew, grandchild, recital, those kinds of things. All right, Taurus, thanks for tuning in. Check your rising and moon. If you want to get a hold of me, my website is there. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. Well, Gemini, you just came out of the cycle where Jupiter was in your sign for 1 year. So I'm sure you were attracting quite a bit during that time. And now things, that energy is dissipated, but you have Uranus in your sign. Honestly, Uranus in relationships, sometimes that can be the thing that breaks a relationship up, because it's freedom. Sometimes people want freedom, but sometimes people can grow together. And you just say, hey, let's do something completely different. Let's, make some big changes. But let's see what the cards have to say for our Gemini sun, rising, moon, or anybody with Gemini in their chart. Here we go. Two of Cups is the soulmate card, is the first card out. Look at that. Followed by the Three of Pentacles. And then finally, for Gemini, is the Death card. Of course, death doesn't mean anybody's dying necessarily. It just means a big change. For some of you, it's talking about you had met this soulmate. Perhaps you already met them, but perhaps you even haven't, because you've been working so hard. You've been working on, some of you have been in school. Somebody's writing a dissertation, I'm hearing. There's different things going on, that you've been maybe remodeling this house, or you're finishing up this big work project, and now that has ended. I get the feeling like this has a lot to do with the Uranus thing that I was talking about at the beginning here. And Uranus just went into your sign here just in July. When was it? It was just in July 7th. So when I'm recording this reading, it's not even been in your sign for 1 month. So I feel like for many of you, you just had to do this thing first. And then now you can focus your energy on the Two of Cups, the soulmate energy, the love affairs. For some of you, maybe you met this person while working or while in school or something like that. For others, I want to say either you or the other person was not available. They may have been in another relationship, and that now that this is ending, you are... you're free to be together, or maybe you just met and you said, I'm going to be working day and night, or I'm an intern, or I'm, studying my doctorate or whatever I'm doing here, and I'm just not going to have time for a relationship. Well, now that's finished, and the Two of Cups is here, and the way is clear, the air is clear. This death is not a bad thing. This death is moving things out of the way and making room for that love, romance energy to come in. Okay, so it's very good. Uranus also could be meeting somebody that is totally different. The relationship could be totally different, and the person could be totally different. Oops. Okay, next we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. We're going to throw a few cards for the sign of Cancer for love and romance for the upcoming whatever month or so. We'll maybe make this a monthly. If you guys like it, I'll continue to do it. You have to let me know. Okay, this is for the sun signs of Cancer, Sun, rising moon, or anybody who has prominent Cancer in their astrology chart. Let's take a look. Well, you've got Jupiter in your sign now, Cancer, and you are attracting MFer. That's what my guides are saying. So people are drawn to you. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork, my guides are saying. There's definitely somebody from the past that's been thinking about you, Cancer, when you get this card here. Somebody's been thinking about you, so maybe your childhood sweetheart or somebody from the past, or somebody who, it feels very strong with the childhood sweetheart thing. And there's been this, because the Hangman, I always want to point out that the Hangman is not being strangled or anything like that. The Hangman is being enlightened, and he's getting downloads and messages, and this is the spirit guide, and this is a spirit of a child too. So for some of you, somebody could be turning up pregnant. If you're planning on it, beautiful, great. If not, then maybe take the proper precautions. But otherwise, and it might be a Pisces too. That fish is grabbing me. A fellow water sign. Or maybe somebody that you dated back in Pisces time frame, which would have been late February and March. But what I feel about this thing is there's this psychic communication going on between the two of you. So even if you've not heard from them, or even you're not even following them on social media or anything like that, if there was somebody from the past you really have no way of knowing or seeing them, then there's this, it's coming up, it's bubbling up, they're saying. It's bubbling up from the surface. You may be having some dreams. If you've had dreams about them, know that this is some real stuff here. That's not just a dream, it's a visitation, or that you're really communing on the astral plane together. But definitely happiness coming from the past. If none of that applies, check your rising or moon, but this seems pretty clear on that. But another way we could interpret this thing is maybe you're feeling like your old self again. Maybe you needed because the Hangman says you need some time sometimes. And it's a break, taking a break. So maybe you needed some time to kind of get it together or recuperate, and now you're feeling like your old self again. Oh, I feel like I'm 16 again, I'm hearing, something like that. So, or maybe you're just falling in love and you feel, you have that, I feel like I'm 16 again just because you're in love again or something like that. But definitely, I mean, you guys, you have for the entire year until your birthday of next year of 26, you've got Jupiter in your sign. You are attracting away there, Cancer. All right, next let's take a look at love and romance for the sign of Leo. I mean, Leo, that's you. You are the sign of love and romance anyway. That's, that's your jam all day long, love and romance. But let's see what's coming up here for our Leo friends for love and romance for the next few weeks or whatever it might be. Page of Pentacles. That's news about money, but that's also Virgo season. These are both cards indicating Virgo, well, Earth sign season. And there we go. Yeah. So it looks like your guides and angels are putting stuff together. So be talking to them, doing your meditations. If you're watching this in July, there's a new moon in your sign coming up here on the 24th. It's a big, powerful time for manifestation. But, you know, your guides and angels, this card is not the Two of Cups, the soulmate card, but it has two cups on it. And it talks about these higher forces are out there. This is your cosmic matchmaker. That's what my guides just said. So we all have these guides, these spirit guides and angels and whatnot. So this cosmic matchmaker is up here putting things together to bring in this King of Pentacles for you. Now again, I said, well, maybe it's going to be Earth sign time, which is true, or maybe you meet through financial interactions. You know, maybe you meet at the bank, or maybe this accountant, or stockbrokers, or, you know, different things, or maybe that's how this person is, even a realtor could be. But this person is either Earth sign, which is a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo, or they may be, again, the timing is the Earth sign energy, which is about a month away yet. Again, disregard the gender. It's a king on here, but it could be anybody. But the good thing about the king in all of the suits is that they are a little further along. They're not the baby. They don't act like a baby. They act like a grown adult. And, you know, this person, the King of Pentacles in particular, this person is very financially secure and set. So if you've had to deal with losers who didn't have a job or are mooching off you and stuff like that, not this one. This one's got their own money. They're financially secure. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a Taurus. Because many times I've seen, many astrology books won't say that, oh, that'll never work, you're both fixed signs, it's fire and earth, no, no, no. But all the years of me doing these readings, I have noticed that, you know, many times a Taurus and a Leo make a great team. You both like the finer things in life. You both, you know, there's a lot of things that you have in common I've seen it work in very long-term marriages and relationships. But not going to be a Taurus for everybody. Could be, you know, any of the earth signs, but finances are part of it. Either that's their job, or, again, maybe you get a notice, say you've got to come in and see the accountant, or you've got to come in and sign these papers, and boom, there's that person that you've been looking for. The universe is your cosmic matchmaker up here. Oh, I'm trying to remember that. I should write it down somewhere. The cosmic matchmaker is on the job. I need to write that down, because I'll forget it. If I ever do a new tarot book, which I'm totally thinking of. Cosmic matchmaker, temperance. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, next we're going to move on to the sign of Virgo. So this is for Virgo sun, rising, moon, and it has to do with love and romance for the foreseeable future for our Virgo friend, sun, rising, moon. Let's see here, Virgo. Knight of Pentacles, that's you. Five of Cups. And King of Rods, fire energy. Well, for some of you, this is two choices for sure. And again, disregard the gender. If you're not interested in men, then it wouldn't be a man for you. Whatever you're interested in is what it's going to be. They're just representing as men. But one of the things that's important and interesting is Knight and King. So a king is somebody who's further along. A king is somebody who's more mature. A king is somebody who is, you know, just more of a grown-up and not playing baby games. The King of Rods is a very strong connection because the rods, after all, are a major phallic symbol too. So the King of Rods is somebody who there's some sexual attraction for sure. And it could be Leo or Leo season. And now when I'm doing the reading here, we just moved into Leo a day or so ago. We're very starting of Leo season. So this could be the Leo season, but it could also be Leo season going into Virgo season around your birthday. The other thing about your birthday this year, Virgo, is that we're going to be in eclipse season also. I don't know how I'm going to do those readings. I'm figuring something out for them. But, you know, so big changes can happen during the eclipse season. The main card here that's not a court card, which represents the people, of course, is this Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is, you're looking at spilled cups. You're looking at what went wrong. And this person doesn't see that there is still full cups left. They're only looking at, well, I got hurt, or they screwed me over, or that my relationship failed. or whatever. Don't keep repeating even in your own brain and your own head what went wrong, what went wrong. When there's full cups available up here, there's still a chance for love. The 2 cups are up here. These are the 2 souls. 2 hearts beat as one, my guides are saying. And this person's over there too. This person is ready, willing, and able to come into your life. And it's the thing about being courted by a Leo or any of the fire signs. I mean, you know you're being courted. They're not shy about any of it. You know, you can be a little shy and reserved. Although Virgos get a bad rap about being prudes, like sexually. And I know for a fact that that's not true. You know, they're actually really good lovers and eager to please, honestly. But but they're not one to these big shows of affection and these big whatever. Leos are, and all the fire signs, but Leos in particular. I'm feeling very strong about a Leo for many of you. So let's stop focusing down here. Let's stop focusing on everything that went wrong. Let's pick ourselves up, come up, put our head up, and turn around and look what's here. Because there's somebody here that really wants to love you. That's what I'm hearing. So let them, Virgo. Let them love you. You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too. Oops. Late. Desperado. Okay, Libra, you're up next. Let's see what's going on for Libra in the department of love. I'm hearing the love shack. It's a love shack, is a little old place where we can get together. I'm way off on that one. Love shack, baby. Love shack, baby, love shack. Ooh, bunch wanted to fall. Hold on. This is the way they fell out, and look what's there, lovers. They fell in my lap. There's way too many cards to use all of them. But wow, look at these, though. Well, I might have to use all of them. Well, this is a lot of the stuff from the last one, but boy, I'm going to take those 3 as the card, and maybe you're going to be involved with an earth sign, but this just flipped right over on my lap for you. Well, you know, Libras, you do like to be in love. That's definitely your thing. You know, you're the relationship sign. You know, you are the sign of the relationship. I feel like, you know, you're in this, many of you are in this phase or about to be in this, like this honeymoon phase. The lovers here, and all this 10 of Cups, this is the marriage card, but it's also major love and happiness and fulfillment. But I feel like you're realizing, maybe some of you are coming out of the honeymoon phase, but you're realizing that in order to maintain this 10 of Cups energy or this positive vibes here, that it takes hard work. You know, it's not, life's not a bed of roses, my guides are saying. So life's not just a bed of roses. Yeah, it's wonderful to be in love, but after this big major honeymoon phase is over, then the work really settles in. Some of you may be saddled with some work right off the bat. Maybe some of you, there's other things that have to be, because 10s are completion. 10 of Cups is the completion in love. I feel so complete. I'm totally in love. It's wonderful. The most happiness. You know, great energy. But then the 10 of Rods here. This is saying that there's hard work. So maybe it's like, well, we know we love each other, but there's things that have to be settled elsewhere. Maybe somebody's not, their divorce isn't final yet. Maybe you've just been, you know, separated for years, but you never really got the divorce, or they haven't, you know. Or maybe you guys live in a different area and somebody has to sell. I feel like somebody has to sell a house in order to finish up some big cycle here. So there's some cycles that have to be completed and hard work ahead. But for many of you, you know, you're really swimming in it. You're really swimming in this beautiful lovers. And that Love Shack song is still playing in my head. So that has some meaning for somebody out there. Okay, Scorpio, you're up next. Let's take a look here. Well, you've had that Uranus in your 7th for all these years, and it's been really kind of funky for a lot of Scorpios. So that energy is kind of over now. And hopefully some more settled Scorpio, you know, is going to go through a more settled time, or a more, you know, coming into a time in their relationships where it's peaceful and settled and solid, like Scorpio likes. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got the 8 of Cups, leaving stuff behind, moving to the future. Swords energy, air sign energy, and 2 of Cups. There we go. So many of you have got to leave, working on leaving the past behind. Because that's one thing about Scorpios. You guys will hold on. You'll hold on to the bitter end. And you'll stay in the thing for a long time, even if it's bad, you know. So many of you, I get the feeling like when Uranus was in the 7th, many of you maybe finally broke free of some of this old baggage you're carrying around from whatever it was. Maybe it was from the relationship itself. Maybe it was from who knows what. It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe for some, it's interesting that this is an 8, and often I'll say 8 years, and that's how long that Uranus was in the 7th house to Scorpio, the relationship house, for 8 years. So for some of you, it could be, you know, this 8-year thing. But you're moving forward to this Knight of Swords, which is a major soulmate energy. The Knight of Swords is air sign, perhaps. Don't disregard the gender. Be whatever you're into. It doesn't have to be what's represented here. So if you're into women, it'd be women. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. If you're into men, it'd be a man, you know, etc. So, Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Perhaps coming into the time frame of Libra, which is going to be a little ways off yet, end of September to into October. The other thing, I brought this up for somebody else. This month coming up in August, we are going to have a full moon in Aquarius. Because this card has that moon on it, and then the Aquarius, that's going to be on August 9th. So that could be a date, the 8th or the 9th. But boys, this person for sure is a 2 of Cups. It's a soulmate energy. So you've got the soulmate energy here in the form of the Knight of Swords. So it's this is your love partner, or this is your next thing here. It's interesting that they show as a knight, because sometimes the knights can be a little immature, or maybe in some cases a little younger. But, you know, I'm not getting bad vibes off of this Knight of Swords, like very babyish or immature in that way. I'm getting really genuinely good vibes from this Knight of Swords. And I feel like they're exciting. The Knight of Swords, you're attracted to their mind. You like get good conversation. They like to do fun outings, because sometimes Scorpios, you know, you guys don't like to go out too much. You just rather stay home. They'll take you, let's go out, we'll go on trips, these kinds of things. So you're going to find there's availability of a wonderful partnership, soulmate partnership coming up for you, many Scorpios, if you're interested. Okay, next is going to be for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you're such a crazy pants. Okay, Saggies, what is going on for our Sagittarius friends? Sun, moon, and rising, and I will even, just for this reading, throw in Venus, even though that irks me to no end when people say that. But oh, 6 of Cups flew out, so I'm going to cut for 2 more. Queen of Cups. And finally, there. What did I call this? The Cosmic Matchmaker. Came up in another sign. I have to get a quick drink of water. My throat's closing up. Closing up. I'm just getting really tight. Okay. So, Cosmic Matchmaker is at work for you, Sagittarius. Well, bringing in the Queen of Cups. Again, don't disregard the gender. It could just be anybody. Queen of Cups is perhaps a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, a Pisces. Queen of Cups is, I'm hearing mutually exclusive, which I don't even know how that would apply to a relationship, but that's what they said to me. I see on this card what's standing out to me. I've never noticed it, but it looks like the water is kind of splashing out of the cup, which it is. See that? So I feel like it might be a little messy. I think that's what, but the reading doesn't really show that, but that splashing water really reminds me of that. Okay, so 6 of Cups could be somebody from the past, for sure, a water sign person. They may have just come back into your field or your area of whatever, during Cancer time, during this water sign of Cancer. As I'm doing this reading, we have just moved into Leo. So that would have been through late June, through the solstice, through July 22nd or so. But this is no, especially if you've run into somebody from the past, if they come up, this is no accident with the Temperance card here. Your Cosmic Matchmaker, the Temperance card, is at work putting things together for you. You got your back turned to them, but you're tuned in anyway, I feel. I keep wanting to bring this back to being you, and I think in some cases it is you. You know, this, even though it's represented as water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but I feel like it is you because of the position in the reading too, the central position. But there is this unspoken thing going on. There is this heart. Everything has cups on it, even the Temperance card. Cups, 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 cups. These are all talking about emotional connections, love language I'm hearing. These are all things that are nonverbal for the most part. It's nothing that can necessarily be put into words per se. It's what's being felt. It's feelings, emotions, these types of things. This is all coming together, and you're connecting with somebody. Now, you've known them in the past, but maybe could even be a past life. You know what's standing out to me is these two windows on top of this house in the background. So I had a friend who lived next door, and we used to talk, our bedroom windows lined up, and we used to talk through the windows at night and stuff. So I wonder if it's something like that. Or your window, I'm hearing that, come to my window, I'll be home soon, I'll be home soon. Or something about the window. I don't know. I don't know if it could be that exact situation, maybe, where when your bedroom windows were across from each other, you'd see each other or something, out through the window or out the window, through the looking glass, they're saying. But anyways, yeah. So looks like a lot of happy love energy, feeling into your emotions. The cosmic matchmaker is in the spread, so she's working on it for you. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, let's take a look at the love energy. You have the sign of Cancer, which is your opposite sign, is where Jupiter is. So this could be a time when you could really attract somebody. Even if you're not Capricorn rising, it's still in your opposite sign. So that's you, you're here, and then the other person is the other side. So Jupiter's there in that sector of the other person. So there's could be a lot of choices for many Capricorns. A lot of choices. I'm hearing round and round they go, where they stop, nobody knows. Like a carny caller, I'm hearing, so step right up. Wasn't that an old-timey for the Sex and the City? That was one of the I haven't really been keeping up with the new show that much as much, but I loved the old show back in the day. And there was that one where it was all these freaks from the sideshow freaks from the carnival. It was like a whatever you call it. They were using that as the framework for the show, but in a funny way. But so I hope that's not the case for you guys. But it might be, because I'm hearing step right up. I'm hearing that whole thing from the carnival. Here comes the, oh God, I almost said something. Okay, I'm going to shut up about it. I can't. Let's get back to this. Here, look at this spread though, Capricorn. 2 major arcana. So higher forces are at work. Conversation and hearing from somebody. You may hear from somebody, could be during this Mercury retrograde, could be something popping in on that full moon in Aquarius, which is coming up August 9th. But there's going to be messaging and communication going on, and then maybe a plan to get together, or a plan to take a trip together, or maybe you're going to be traveling. Maybe this is somebody who's out of town and they're going to be traveling and they're going to be in town, they want to see you, or vice versa. Hey, I'm going to be home over Labor Day weekend, you want to get together, these kinds of things. This thing on his arm is really standing out to me. I can get it to come into view here. There. That armband thing. Now I had to wear those, one place where I bartended years ago, I had to wear that, so it could be like that. That's my initial thought. I thought of, or like a barbershop quartet, they wear those things on their arm, the garter, But also it reminded me maybe of the military, because I think they have to wear, or they have stuff on their arms sometimes, don't they? Or maybe even for some it might be a tattoo or something. But anyways, that thing on the arm is really grabbing me on this card for some reason. So that might be something For somebody out there, it's definitely a tattoo. You guys have matching tattoos, or maybe you actually got matching tattoos, but maybe you just happen to have. Maybe not exactly matching, but maybe you have a butterfly and they have a butterfly, you know, or whatever, some common or flower and they have a flower. It's not the same exact tattoo, but maybe it's similar. For somebody out there, that's going to be a thing for sure. Okay, Chariot, so that's triumph and victory over past trauma and situations, because there has been a big ending of the karmic cycle for Capricorns, and you're ready to move on to the next phase of things. See, they're all waving goodbye because you are done with this whole cycle. This was probably the cycle that from 2008 until like last year, when, or maybe early this year, when Pluto was in your sign. So many Capricorns have been completely transformed during that time. And if that's the case, you know, many times we don't want to go back to that same old relationship. We just don't. And we're not going to. You know, it's just like, well, been there, done that. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. But it's in a wonderful, healthy way, through growth and through, you know, rising up to the next level. Not going, you know, it's gonna better yourself. It's because you've done the work. That's what my guides are saying. You've done the work on yourself, and you're better off for it. And now you're ready for a different kind of relationship. You're ready to take it to the next level. In other cases, it could just be you're going to be traveling together. Maybe you're going to take a trip, or again, like I said, maybe they're going to be traveling to be with you, or vice versa. So it could be stuff like that. But news and communication is a big part of it. There's going to be a lot of texting and a lot of messaging to arrange for this thing, or for some of you that might be how the relationship starts, with just a lot of messaging and texting and so on, and then you know, comes to full fruition. Okay, next we're going to look at the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be love and romance reading for our Aquarian friends. Sun, rising, moon, or even Venus, even though I never say that, but for the love reading we'll put Venus in there. You know that people say that just to get you to look at one more reading. That's why they do it. In most cases, Venus is pretty irrelevant as far as a tarot reading goes. But hey, I'm going to let you in on that little secret there. Because if you're looking at 4 placements, you're going to look at 4 videos, right? But anyways, I never include Venus. But on the love reading, maybe include Venus too. Okay, for Aquarius, Sun, rising, moon, and Venus. Let's see here. 8 of Cups. Boy, has that one been out today, hasn't it? Knight of Rods, fire energy, and 3 of Cups. Okay. Well, if you're invited to any kind of party or celebration, definitely go. You know, another thing that I will use this for is, in the United States, we have the 2 bookend weekends. We have Memorial Day weekend that kind of kicks summer off in late May, and then we have Labor Day weekend, which is usually around the first week of September. And that kind of is the end of summer, you know. So this feels like it could even be Labor Day weekend. But also, this is definitely a person that you are, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of spark, there's a lot of sexual charge, sexual energy. There's going to be that full moon in your sign on August 9th. So 8th, 9th, that's that weekend. Maybe if you were planning on going to a wedding, or you're invited to go to, you know, somewhere where there's going to be a lot of people. A wedding, or could be, you know, a concert, or so these days, because we got a lot of times you have to travel to go to concerts. They're not always coming to every town like they used to. So you might have to travel to go to a concert or something like that. For others, though, this is built up stuff over the last whatever years. You know, now that Uranus or Pluto is in your sign, you know, things are changing, and you're ready for a change, and you want fresh and exciting. You want this young buck, my guides are saying. Wow. You may want this younger person who's all full of life and so passionate, and this would be really good sex too. The Knight of Rods really brings that sexual energy. The stallion, you know, the stallion in the background. And maybe you're just all happy and all smiles because, you know, you've got a good lover, and it makes you happy. It gets those endorphins going or something for some people. Whatever the case here, it does feel like a lot of laughter, a lot of fun. This person may be a fire sign again, which is a Leo, an Aries, or Sagittarius. Could be moving into Leo time, which we're in right now. And it might be 8th month of August, Leo time. And then, you know, Three of Cups, maybe it's their birthday party even, or maybe it's their party. I'm hearing that, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Anyways, next let's take a look over here at Pisces, last but not least. This is going to be a mini love reading for Pisces friends for the upcoming month or so. If you guys like this, let me know and I could continue to do them perhaps. Looking forward to changing the readings around a little on the station, on the channel. If you are looking for that astrology reading, it is over on Patreon for free. So you can just check it out there. Let's take a look at Pisces love. I almost wanted to say Pisces love language. Four of Rods, that's usually getting pretty serious. Three of Rods. And Tower. Wow. Well, this is the calm after the storm. That's what my guides are saying. This is the calm after the storm. There's been some upheaval. There's been some changeabouts, turnabouts. Things kind of going wackadoo, they're saying. But this is not that. Look how calm the water is in both of these. It's just a still water here. So whatever this big shakeup was, it was eliminating things that had to be eliminated. Some of you may have gone through divorce or a big breakup with the Tower. Could be. But now you're settling into the new way of being. The other thing is with the Four of Rods, this is one of the marriage cards sometimes, but definitely I always would put it as living together. So even if you're not living together, maybe you practically are. You might as well be. You've got a drawer there and your toothbrush and those kinds of things. But you're really spending a lot of time with each other in each other's home. Maybe some of you left a partner and are going to be moving in with your loved, a different loved one. That could absolutely be happening. I mean, you're also going to be having these eclipses. You're going to be right in it. There's going to be 2 eclipses in your house of partnership. Your placement of the other. That's coming up in September, but we're moving into eclipse season, so there's going to be big changes. And there will be eclipses in your sign as well into next year. But for many of you, this is where you want to be. This looks good. I do feel like maybe there was a lot of fighting, at the end of this Tower situation. There may have been a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos. And now things are calming down. Things are getting better, they're calming down. You're settling into the new normal and it feels fine. It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. So you're feeling really fine. You're with somebody who together you're visioning your future, you're decorating, you're doing, putting the house together. You're learning about this person and their idiosyncrasies, idiosyncronicities where, okay, you like to eat at this time, you like to shower at this time, these different things that always have to get ironed out in a new situation when you're living with somebody. But it works out pretty good. I mean, and it feels like it's just such a relief for you that, you can be with somebody and they're not going to be jumping all over your shit over every little thing, which may have been the case here. You can be, it's calm, and it's nice, and it's soothing, and it's peaceful, and it's comfortable, very comfortable. Okay, Pisces, and thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys have to let me know if you like this reading. Maybe I'll keep it up as a regular monthly feature on the channel. If you're looking for the astrology, it's over on Patreon. If you want to get a hold of me, this is my information. Don't be fooled by imposters. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back again soon with another reading.